Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mr. Gini, and we're at the second annual VDubs on the Bay event out in Perryville, Maryland. So yeah, let's go check out some cars. Yeah, sweet looking Jetta over there. Look at that. That nice looking red. Very clean looking. They got a Porsche here. Look at this. It's a tight looking 911 here. Hey, so check out this beautiful Porsche 911 GT3 here. I know this is the Volkswagen event, but I guess you know, Porsche and Volkswagen's history is kind of intertwined. Actually, there was a guy named Ferdinand Porsche, and he actually was the one that was designated by Adolf Hitler, I hate to say, to create Volkswagen, which is also known as the people's car. So kind of an interesting bit of history just I wanted to point out. So, but in any case, really beautiful looking Porsche 911 GT3 over here. Hey, so has anyone heard of a movie called Herbie the Love Bug? So this is a car that looks very much like that one in the movie. One other thing I want to point out is that the Volkswagen Beetle was, you know, probably the epic car back in the day. Pretty much, it was the car actually was used in the German army. And actually, it was funny because this car actually had to be developed with a bonnet strong enough to hold a machine gun on top of it. It's kind of an interesting history behind this car. But yeah, this was actually a car that was kind of a prototypical car back in like Germany in the 1930s. And it was actually used to develop military vehicles. And then, you know, after, of course, World War II and after the kind of fall of Nazism, then you kind of had the, you know, a guy named Ivan Heers took over and, you know, really revamped Volkswagen. And then there was a movie called Herbie that came out in 1968. And that really increased sales quite a bit for the car. But anyway, you can see now the Beetle's a very, very epic car even now. Hey, check out this black 1970 VW bus, man. This is nasty looking. The original car is actually like a light blue. I'm going to show it to you in a second when we go inside it. Owner was kind enough to let me go in. But yeah, I kind of like the black here because it just kind of stands out. You don't see too many black VW buses. And owner bought it this way, but I kind of like it. I even kind of like it with the wheels too. So it's just kind of a nice nice look here. So I'm going to go inside the vehicle and take the owner up on his generosity. Let's go. Oh, let's get in this baby. Okay. Definitely straight old school 70s. Look at this. Got the old school stick here, man. Look at this. It's just sweet. So that's the color, like a light blue. So I think that kind of would look nice in the light blue, but I kind of do like it in the black. So, you know, definitely really cool here, man. So good deal. So I want to talk a little bit more about just kind of the bus in general. So So this is one of the post-war vehicles, post-World War II vehicles that came out, you know, Volkswagen. And, you know, again, originally Volkswagen was trying to create cars that were more like simplistic, reliable, particularly in America. Initially, most people didn't like Volkswagen just because they were used to the bigger cars, kind of the bigger Impalas and everything. And the Volkswagen, they just didn't like the shape. So I guess it was a bit of a culture shock when they first saw the car. And also the big thing was it was kind of harder to service the cars because they didn't have a lot of dealerships, a lot of service depots there. But I guess that changed, and the car started to grow on the American public. Anyway, he came out with the bus, and the bus kind of represents a lot of the counterculture. So I think with the VWs, I think part of the VW success was also just kind of being able to market to different demographics. And I think just that whole counterculture, particularly with the bus, I think is part of what made the bus so successful. So let's keep going.
That blue bug on the car, there it is right there.
Hey, check out this 1966 bug over here. So I just want to talk a little bit about the bug. So again, this was the prototypical car that Ferdinand Porsche had made for Adolf Hitler back with the Nazi Party. And again, they were trying to find a car that would appeal to the people, because back in the day, it was, you know, a car was kind of considered a luxury. So, you know, most people didn't even own any cars. So they were trying to get a car that would basically, you know, that anyone could afford. Of course, that kind of went sideways because they were building the factory. It was called the Volkswagen Factory. And what had happened was, you know, I guess they had this proposal to the people. Why don't you go out and, you know, if you go and you give like 5 Reichsmarks each week, I think it was, you know, towards the building of the factory, you'll get your car. So it was almost like they were making advance payments, but the problem was, though, that never happened. And these ended up being made for the military vehicles. So if you look at this car, you see the body here. The chassis had to be strong enough to hold machine gun turrets. So they actually started these first cars were actually made as military vehicles. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, it's amazing what it's come to today. Now, you know, this is one of the most revered cars in the whole world. So anyway, owners kind of let me sit in it. So let's go. Let's get inside this baby. Look at the Iron Maiden there. Okay, cool. Oh, look at this, man. So this is just so different from like some of the American classics that I've had before. So obviously the big thing with the American classics, they're a lot bigger and more grandiose. And this is just more simple and to the point. You just got your speedometer right there, and then your gauge. It's a much more simplistic. And this I kind of wonder if this kind of goes along with the design intent, that this car was meant to be marketed to younger people. It was meant to be simplistic, reliable, and not grandiose. And, you know, before this whole emission scandal thing, you know, they were known as a very honest company, and they marketed the car in a very honest and humorous way. And I think that's part of why it became so successful. You know, I kind of like these side mirrors here too. This is kind of cool over here. And then you have kind of the vertical door handle over there, and then you have, of course, the old school rolling up and rolling down. That's when I kind of do this for old time's sake. Kind of reminds me of when I was younger, which I'm obviously not anymore. Just being don't have the power windows, obviously. It's kind of cool. So here's the door handle. So pull up and get out. So pretty cool. Look at the old school Porsche here, man. This is sweet. Oh, I like that. Like that whale tail though, the spoiler. Really nice. Let's take a look at the interior. Yeah, look at this. Sweet. It just looks sporty. Very, very sporty compared to the Volkswagen. I like it. And actually, I do want to point out this kind of maroonish leather here. I think it's really, really nice, especially for an older car. This looks really, really sharp. And you have to go seats in the back. It's kind of comical because it's a 4-seater, but it's a sports car. So just thought that's interesting. So, and again, just look to take another pan at this dash here. And look at, I love that gauge cluster. Look at that, just the five gauges on there. It just looks real sporty. It looks sweet, and the Porsche emblem on the steering wheel, very nice. Look at this GTI here, really sharp. So check out this gorgeous GTI here. Look at that, I love that lime green. So check out this lime green GTI here. And I think what I really want to point out is just how much sportier this car looks than some of the older Golfs. So again, you know, Volkswagen originally was more of a, you know, a car meant to be simple, reliable, and affordable. And then at some point, they started to position themselves more kind of as a luxury company. So you can kind of see the changes here. Look at the sporty wheels and the calipers, and then just the color. And I'm going to go over the interior too as well. But you can just see kind of the difference between, you know, say like a Golf or even the Beetle kind of back in the day, and this car now, just how much more like kind of flashy the GTI or this kind of, you know, higher end Golf, you wouldn't even call it a Golf, is now. So before we check out the you know, interior, I just want to point out the look at the, you know, the calipers, the red calipers with the green, and then you kind of have sort of a, you know, not really too low profile, but kind of those sporty wheels. Now we can go and then look at the mirror too. You have kind of this the two-tone on the mirror going here, and then when you look inside, look at the, you know, look at the leather now. You kind of have like a three-tone leather on here. I don't even know if that's OEM though, to tell you the truth, but I've owned GTIs and they are, you know, the ones I got, they are leather. And you look at just, you know, obviously it's computerized now, but you just look at how much more luxurious it looks. It even looks bigger too. But yeah, I think this kind of drives home the point that, you know, Volkswagen, you know, has positioned himself more kind of towards the higher end of the market, you know, in terms of you know, pricing. So there's actually a dune buggy behind me, but before we get into the dune buggy, I just kind of want to point out this GTI here. Now I just love these, you know, kind of goldish, kind of bronzes, dark, you know, kind of beige, whatever you want to call them, these wheels here. Kind of reminds me, I don't know if this is the best comparison, but kind of reminds me of the SVJ, how they have like those kind of golden rims. Then you have the red calipers that kind of go with the dark blue. So again, you just kind of goes to that Volkswagen here with your GTI line. Obviously it's the sport version, so it's just kind of, you know, they've been in this for a while, but just comparing, you know, kind of the history of how the Volkswagens were, again, more simplistic and reliable. You know, they're still reliable, but now they're kind of, you know, they're kind of more appealing to the more sport car enthusiasts. And look at the engine here. It looks like there's, you know, some aftermarket here. It looks like they have a cold air intake or, you know, something going here. That filter definitely doesn't look OEM, obviously, but it looks like they got something going here with the engine. So yeah, pretty cool. 2023 GTI is what this is. Oh, so here's that dune buggy here. Got that shark on top. Hey, look at that. Look at that. So right behind me you have a dune buggy. This is a 1970 Volkswagen dune buggy. And the dune buggies came out, again, they're also post-World War II. And this one, the dune buggy came out in Southern California. And it was meant to appeal more to like being on the beach and being on the sand. And you can just tell by the design, that's what its intent was for. But again, it just kind of shows how Volkswagen was able to expand into different markets. And maybe that's kind of part of the reason why, you know, Volkswagen, you know, in spite of its, you know, kind of controversial history, you know, has become such a success today.
They spin wheels and would break the legs right off the drum, because the drum's not that strong. I think honestly,
it looks beautiful in blue, and I love those wheels, those aftermarket wheels. They look really nice. What a nice car that is. Oh, sorry. Look at this gorgeous 73 Beetle. Look at that color. I just love that blue. I just don't know if this is the OEM color or not. So I know I've been to a lot of classic car shows, and, you know, the colors, you know, in the 70s, 60s, I would just say, like, you know, back in the day were very, very extravagant. At least what I've noticed. And I see the same thing here. This Volkswagen here, you know, again, they were kind of marketed towards younger people. And I kind of wonder if that was the intent of the color too. This color is very vibrant, and yeah, I kind of wonder if that was the intent as well. But in any case, what a beautiful car. So check it out here, man. This is the, I guess you'll call it the frunk. And it looks like you got like a little sound system he's got going here too. Haven't seen those in a while, and he's got a first aid kit too. Let's go look at the back. Yep, there it is, the engine. So that's kind of one of the unique things about this car, the engine being in the back and everything. So I think that's kind of definitely kind of cool. So anyway, let's keep moving. You know what? I think I'm really beginning to fall in love with these Beetles. I mean, honestly, I really never was much of a Beetle fan, to be honest with you. I kind of love the GTI, but this car is just gorgeous. Look at this two-tone here. I honestly don't know if this is OEM or not. I'm suspecting it's not, but I could be wrong. But in any case, this car is just stunning. I love the red and the white, and you know this car is just beautiful. I don't really have any words for it. So let's look at the inside of it. All right, so we come around here. You know, I love the white over there, and wow, that dash is so clean. But again, just look how much smaller this is than your typical American car. And I think maybe that's kind of why that initially Americans did not like the Volkswagen. And again, because at the time it was all about the big bad American cars. You know, that was kind of the thing, and then that's really changed quite a bit. You know, imports are very, very popular, and these cars are very, very popular now. But in any case, what a clean looking, simplistic yet clean and beautiful dash. Love the red dash and how it goes with the outside. Hey man, check out this 1971 Bug. Isn't she beautiful? Beetle, gorgeous. And this is the original color, and the interior is original. Pretty much everything on this car is original. And one thing also, if you were to open up that the front over there, you have a spare tire. Then you also have, that's how the washers work too. The actual windshield washers, that's how it works on the inside. It's really cool. So let's take a look at the interior too. So look at that. I just love the seats here. Love the material of the seats here. Really, really nice. And then look at the dash too. It's just very simplistic. It's not at all like the American classics, but it definitely, I mean, these cars are again meant to appeal to, you know, the younger, pretty much the younger genre, and also just the basic working class. So basically you want a car that's reliable and you want a car that's affordable. Let's pan out here. So yeah, I mean, the car's reliable, the car's affordable, you know, relative to the bigger Impalas and the bigger American cars, and it really caught on with the American public too. And look at this color is beautiful. So it's amazing how, like, now today, this is probably one of the most popular cars in the world now. Amazing car. So here we have another bus, and again, you can just see how extravagant the colors are. So even like kind of back in the day, you had the extravagant colors, and I kind of think this kind of goes along with the counterculture. I think why these buses were kind of more appealing to those of the counterculture. You have the, you know, really, really bright color. You know, it doesn't seem like a car that's kind of just, you know, run of the mill. It's just, you know, kind of like, you know, just a bunch of hippies getting a bus. I don't know what else to say about it, but it's really beautiful. And I kind of earlier panned in on the interior of it. It has a plaid interior. Let's go take a look at the interior real quick. So check this out. Look at this interior, man. Isn't this cute? They got a little kitchen over here or something. This is kind of cool. So I would really be surprised if this here was OEM. I highly doubt it is, but I mean, regardless, it looks beautiful. Look at this interior. So I'm going to pan the camera around. Let's take a look at this. So look at this. This is beautiful. I love that plaid and the kind of matching you know, what do you call, matching plate and cup, and then the lamp there. I mean, just they really went through some details here. And you got the, you know, little kind of sink going here, but look at this. This is really nice. I like what they did with this bus here. Beautiful. This is perfect for like a road trip or something. Beautiful. Then the back over here, and of course you got to be a little to Volkswagen. Look at that. Very beautiful. So I definitely commend the owners for what they did with this bus here. Very beautiful work.
I was hoping he was going to buy it, but I mean.
Hey, so it looks like we got a lot of cars to steal. So just kind of back up in front of me was, I guess, the Beetle section. So now I guess we're about to enter the GTI section. You got some other cars over there, but this row over here looks like it's mostly GTI. So yeah, let's go take a look. Hey, so I want to talk about this Volkswagen R over here. So this is the higher end of the Golf. So technically I shouldn't call it a Golf because it's a completely different car, but just for the fact it kind of is shaped like a Golf, I'm just gonna, you know, inadvertently refer to it as a Golf. But this is sort of the higher end version of that segment of cars, basically. The R, I believe this one, the latest ones have like 315 stock horsepower and a 4-cylinder engine. So this is a very quick little car. Now, I've had a bunch of GTIs before. I had a, you know, the GTI that I had was like 200 horsepower. And that thing was very, very zippy. So imagine 315 horsepower in this 4-cylinder car. That's going to be a quick little car. So let's go take a look at the interior real quick. So I know I panned on it earlier, but I kind of want to do it again. But again, look at the leather seats. Yeah, look at the leather seats over here. Let me pan back out. Yeah, the leather seats. You got the R designation on the seats here. And then you have very kind of combination of sporty and luxury here with the interior. And I guess the reason why I'm pointing this out is it just, again, when you just kind of look at it in comparison with the history, this is no longer made just for a simple, a younger person or just a regular working class. This is kind of a, you know, kind of upper tier, entering upper tier kind of sporty interior here. So I believe these probably go for at least in the 50s, maybe upper 40s, lower 50s, somewhere around there is what I'm guessing. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Hey, so I just gotta correct myself. This actually is a 2019 Golf R. Let me double check that if I had it right. Yeah, it's a 19. So this car actually has the base is 292 and it's from 27 to 36 thousand. So yeah, it's not quite 50, but yeah, still it's still one of the higher end cars. I think the ones now that are like 22, 23 Golf Rs are definitely you know, up in the 50s, I would imagine. So all right, let's move on. Yo, so check out this 1992 Volkswagen Cabrio. God, isn't she stunning? Look at those lights, look at the wheels and how it's kind of lowered. And then you have like the Cabrio just emblem right on the bottom of the side paneling there. I mean, this thing is beautiful. And I was talking to the owner for a little bit. He drove this thing to Maine. He's had this car for like 10 years, drove it to Maine. He said the wheel bearings kind of going a little bad on it, but you know, he did an engine swap on it. And oh, the car's done pretty well. But yeah, let's take a closer look at it. Maybe this is just kind of my personal appreciation for older cars, but I just love these lights. They're just simplistic, but it just looks badass. Actually, I think these lights actually look better than like the more like, you know, kind of the more elegant lights of the GTI and the R. These just appeal to me a lot more. They're just simplistic, yet just like it's looking right at you. And check out the interior. I just love the blue. I love kind of like the two-tone blue going here. And I think it kind of goes well with the white on the outside here. And then you kind of have, you know, like sort of a sporty, you know, old school like 90s sporty looking interior here. Like that steering wheel looks very, very sporty. And you have that stick shift too. Like the Volkswagens were all pretty much stick. I think the GTS now, I think they did it away with the stick now, which is kind of sad. But just so much fun driving a manual. I drove a manual. I drove a Fiat in Italy, and it was so much fun driving a manual. But yeah, this looks like a pretty fun car. Oh, let's take a look at this one. So we're not out of the Beetle section yet. We still got another Beetle here. So wow, that dash is just gorgeous. Very similar to what we saw earlier, but just beautiful. So check out this beautiful Cabrio out here. I just love what the owner did with this. Look at those wheels. Those wheels are gorgeous. And you know, I was panning on the car a little earlier, and you know, the interior is beautiful. You got kind of a black and yellow going there. You can kind of see it. And I just love the wheels. I'm going to pan out on it again because it's just worth it because the car's so beautiful. Let's kind of pan a little closer to this car, and I'll kind of give it a walk through. So first off, I really love these wheels. I just love how you have like just kind of the gold, you know, kind of you kind of have the gold kind of going around the black, and then you have the kind of the gold emblem in the middle there. But yeah, these wheels are just absolutely gorgeous. And then continuing along, you have the, you know, it's kind of lowered a little bit, so the car definitely looks more aggressive. And I'm going to pan in here a little closer, see if we can see it. Look at the, yeah, look at the paint. So it's not really a black. It's almost like a kind of, you got kind of yellow specks on this paint here. So the paint is really, really interesting. And I just think it really makes the car stand out even more. I think this is really beautiful. And then look at the interior. I love really the bright yellow here. Yeah, the bright yellow going here. And then the back seats. And then, yeah, I just love, this car is absolutely stunning. Alright, so I'm spotting the glasses now. Got a little bright, but anyway, I want to point out this beautiful 1966 Beetle. And this car reminds me of, I think it was a Golf that I saw in H2O 2016, that event in Ocean City, Maryland, that I don't think they have anymore. And it was funny because the license plate said ruined on it, and this paint kind of reminds me of the exact same thing. Basically, it kind of has that ruined look, but that's, you know, kind of what they're trying to promote, I guess. But in any case, this car just, you know, definitely emanates a certain kind of style and a certain kind of swag to it. That, you know, it doesn't have a flashy paint job, doesn't have like a nice bright car like the other Beetles or the other cars do. This just has like a ruined paint, and that's exactly what it is. And I think it looks beautiful, and I think it looks stunning, and it just kind of brings back a little nostalgia for me. Just kind of, again, reminds me of that car I saw in Ocean City back in 2016, so going like 8 years ago. So let's take a closer look at her. So yeah, just look at this paint. Actually, it's not a bad looking paint. It's actually a maroon, and then you have like that whole ruined thing going there. Again, I'm calling it ruined because I'm just going by what that license plate said of the car that looked like it. And this is kind of cool. Look at this. I just love this. I really do. I mean, I don't know, people might think that there's something wrong with the paint on it, but that's actually the intent. And then look at that dash. Wow. Just love that. Again, simplistic yet clean. And I know I've said the same thing for the classics, but the big difference I think I see in this car is it's just smaller. So you just have like the much smaller interior, but again, it just looks beautiful, it looks sharp, and that steering wheel looks sharp too. So check out this '83 GTI here. This thing is beautiful. I just love the black. I just love this simplistic, you know, kind of square box design before it kind of went rounded and everything. And I just kind of want to talk to this car a little bit, so I'm going to turn this baby around. This engine here, so basically it's a Passat engine, and then it has a what do you call? I think it's a 276 cam, and it puts 127 down to the wheels. So you know, it's potent, and the car is very light too. And then yeah, so let's continue. So I'm going to kind of pan around here. I want to point out these lights here. So you know, the newer GTIs, obviously they kind of have more, I don't want to say Lamborghini looking lights, but they're, you know, much flashier, exotic looking lights, and these are just simple, like just the round lights looking straight at you. I kind of compare it to Christine. I don't know why I did that, but I guess because the lights just kind of looking right at you, and like the car's going to possess you and you're going to fall in love with it. But anyway, that's a whole other, let me just continue along here. So this pin strip over here, check out the pin strip on this. So this was hand done. So the pin strip was hand done, and it only cost $200 to do. And then these are the I think these are the original wheels on it too. So yeah, it's a nice little car. Let me yeah, pan out a little bit so we can see her. Beautiful, isn't she? So this is an '83. So here's the interior. So we kind of pan in the interior, I love that 80s style dash and steering wheel there. Yeah, it's just a beautiful car. I love it. All right, everyone. So there was just a lot of cars here. So I'm going to kind of pan out this way. And there were just so many cars. So I think we got through, this row over here, but then we have kind of all these cars that go through over here. And then kind of behind me, you got kind of some more cars out there basically. But yeah, let's keep moving along. So check it out, everyone. This is the 63 Beetle. This is the tribute to the Herbie car. So I was talking earlier about, you know, the movie Herbie, the Love Bug. I think it was 68. I can't remember. But in any case, yeah. So this is a car that pretty much emulates the Herbie car. And it's just amazing how much the Volkswagen sales really kicked up after this movie came out. But look at this. This is a beautiful looking car. Look at the aggressive wheels on it. Really beautiful. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, I love that stripe. Check out the stripe on the top, and you got the rag top going here. Very beautiful. Let's take a look at this interior now. Ooh, that is nice. Look at that. Love that interior. God, it looks so clean. And then it's the same kind of dash, just, you know, straight metal. Again, you know, love the materials. You know, you don't see much plastic there. It's all pretty much metal. Just gorgeous. Oh, you got some cars leaving now, so. Ooh, that's beautiful. Look at that. What a nice car that is. So I think people are starting to leave now. I see some cars departing, so I kind of want to try to get through this a little quickly. So I'm just going to pretty much just do an overview of the rest of these cars here with kind of some limited narration. So all right, let's get to it.
Make sure you let me know when you make it up there. Okay? Absolutely will. I seen it already. I was like, you did it right. There's plenty of room up here. Everybody is down there.
So I want to talk about this bus a little bit here. Again, you know, I'm trying to kind of keep things moving, but just one thing I want to point out is, again, you kind of have a similar sort of kitchenette set up there. Again, I don't think it's OEM. I hate to say my knowledge of these buses are a tad limited, but I kind of want to go and pan into this little interior of the car and talk about that a little bit. So there was a lime green one, actually right over there. There's a lime green one that had that beautiful plaid and kitchenette kind of style going there, and you have something, you know, kind of sort of similar here. Again, I'm suspecting this is something that the owner just kind of did himself. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but again, I just really love, I just love how versatile this whole rear is. I mean, they call it the bus for a reason, and you can just kind of, sometimes you can do whatever you want here. You can just kind of retrofit whatever you want back here, and it just kind of makes it very again, very versatile. And again, you have kind of the peace symbol there, so again, sort of the kind of reminds you maybe 70s counterculture kind of thing. But yeah, and it's got the plaid, sort of the plaid drapery going there. But yeah, this is a nice little setup they got there. Hey, so I think we actually didn't even go through this whole line of cars over here. So yeah, a lot to see. Let's keep going. So look at this. Now, I just love that really large VW emblem on the bus here. I mean, usually I'm used to seeing the smaller emblem, but this one has a really big one here. I kind of do like that. And I just also love the lights here, and I just like the two-tone here going there. But yeah, this is a strong looking vehicle. I love it. So let's kind of do a little walk around over here. Sweet. I mean, even if it doesn't have like a finished paint on it, I can't help it. I love the way this car looks. Or rather, bus. Sorry. I want to check out the interior here. All right. Very nice. Look at that. You know, I like this dark green here on this bug. This is nice, because usually you're used to seeing kind of the lighter colors, and this is sort of a darker, kind of a dark green, and I really love the way it goes, especially with the, you know, the soft top here. So it's kind of panning on the dash here. I like the plaid. I love the plaid seating here, and especially the paneling on the door. Look at that. That looks really, really nice. I like that. And of course, a dash, very nice. Ooh, check out this green color. Wow, that is so clean looking. So this is a darker green. This is kind of like a, I don't know what kind of green this is, but just, I don't know if it's one of the things where just, you know, no matter what color you have on the car, it's going to look nice. But I'm just going to say the green looks beautiful. And I like, you know, this one is just a lighter green than the bug we saw earlier. So let's pan over there. So there's that bug I was talking about earlier that had the darker green on it. And pan away from that. And then here you have this sort of this Golf here that has like this lighter green on it, and I really like this. Beautiful. That interior, very nice, beautiful interior. And check out this beige. Wow, that is stunning. I love the beige on this bus or whatever it is. Beautiful. I love that beige color. I can even hear people talking about leaving, so I'm just gonna have to go and give a quick overview of the cars here. Look at that. Those jacked up wheels. That's nice looking. All right. Ooh, look at this. That's clean looking. Let's take a close look at this one real quick.
I've been here before. They have that. Right? Bug, B, whatever it is. Hey, that's great. Did you find Tasha? Oh, okay. We had to move the cars off the street in the yard. Right behind the 50 camper.
Hey, so one thing, I'm not sure if it's out yet or not, but there was an event called H2O that happened in Ocean City, Maryland. I think I might have mentioned this in the video, but in any case, you know, I went to that event. There were some amazing cars there too. Back in 2016, I kind of had the shirt, which I may have mentioned already. But in any case, it's good to see another Volkswagen event come up. This is only the second one that they've had here at the 5th Brewing Company, and I was told there was one in Cape May that unfortunately I missed, but maybe I'll get it next year. But I mean, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that there was an event called H2O, and that's no longer going on now, but at least they have this one now, so good to see. Everyone, so that's a wrap. Like I said, there were a lot of cars to see, and you know, I did the best I could to try to get, you know, really, you know, detail the footage of the cars. You know, it was a little hard, so I kind of had to do, you know, overview again, similar to the, you know, previous car shows that I've been to. You know, there's usually so many cars that you really can't get all the cars in detail, but I tried to get at least the ones that appealed to me the most, typically the older ones or the ones that, you know, kind of had something unique about them. But it was a cool event. I mean, this is different. All of these cars are, you know, different from the American classics, you know, those car shows that I've been to. Yeah, no, there were a lot of wonderful cars to see, a lot of cool people that I got to meet and talk to, and you know, hope you like the footage, and if you do, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hey, what's everybody? So I'm at the 5th Brewing House. I'm trying not to talk too loud, so it looks like I'm freaking talking to myself here, but in any case, there's the entrance to the 5th Brewing Company. And I'm going to turn this camera on here. Hold on. Look at what I got here, man. I got myself a nice Kansas City pork shoulder there with some fries. And I got this hard seltzer. Look at that. Blue raspberry hard seltzer. So I'm going to finish off nice and strong here. So, again, thanks for watching, everyone.